Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is my beauty awards, or like my best of beauty, well, makeup in 2020. So if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep watching. Okay guys, if I didn't have a favorite in a category, I didn't put one in. If I liked something a lot, that's grand, but if I didn't love it, then it's not going in. I'm gonna start with foundation. So my favorite foundation for 2020 is actually an empty. Thank God it's still here. It is the It Cosmetics CC cream, and I have mine in the shade Fair. I would definitely repurchase this. This is a nice, not runny, because it's still on the fuller side of coverage. Like, it is a medium to full coverage foundation, but if I were to squirt this onto my hand, it would kind of run, whereas if I squirt my full thick coverage foundations, it kind of just seems to stay. It has a luminous finish, and it took me a while to start liking it. I didn't understand the hype, and then I absolutely just loved it. I don't squirt a full pump on my face. What I do is a teeny tiny bit, dab, 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 and then put it into my skin. I absolutely love this foundation. Again, it took me like maybe a week or 2 weeks of using it every single day to work to actually figure out what the hype was, and then it was probably the product that I panned that I loved because it just did not mind, and I will 100% get this again. I really like it. It is on a bit of a fuller coverage, but it's just such a nice, comfortable finish, and again, I don't put a lot of it on my skin. So the It Cosmetics CC cream has to win for foundation for me. For concealer, I chose this collection concealer. It's another empty, they're not all empties. Concealer in the shade Fair 1 because, and the reason why is this is a medium coverage concealer, and it's comfortable. It is all gone. I did finish it this year, and it might be a bit too fair, but I went straight from this concealer, which is really affordable, into this NARS one, which is more expensive, and I didn't notice much difference. I wasn't like, ooh. I just loved using this concealer, and I will get it again once I use up more concealers, but I really did enjoy using this all year. I didn't think it covered everything under my eye, but I just found it comfortable and it looked really well. And I really loved it. It's a favorites video, and that was a favorite for me. For under eye powder, I personally like under eye. I know this is really weird to say under eye setting powder, but I personally this year have preferred using a kind of a banana tone under my eye versus like a translucent all over the rest of my face. So my favorite banana powder of the year was the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contouring Palette, and it was the light side. I have since repressed bronzers into here, but it was this banana over here. I know it's not for everyone. There were some days where it was a little bit darker under there than it should be, but I think I just put too much on. Other than that, it really did airbrush out my under eye. It just made all of the lines kind of just blur entirely, and it was very poofy. It had a lot of kick up, but for some reason I like that. I don't know why that is. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do. And if you could buy it on its own, I would have loved that, but I have since bought another one, a different under eye powder, and I've given it a go, a different banana powder. But I have to say, I really loved using this all year, and I actually miss this. I miss the foundation as well that I just mentioned, the CC cream, but I miss this. But I do like the one I'm using, but it was definitely a favorite for me. For cream contour, I'm choosing this Fenty cream in the shade 01 Amber. It's a Cheeks Out. So 6.23 grams in this. I would say my bronzer shade would be Butter Biscuit, but this is my cream contour favorite. This is just so easy, okay? Like, I use this brush here to kind of just boop, 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 and blend up. But if I had this in the bronzer, my sponge, like I accidentally applied it like I would a bronzer one time, and it just was so easy to blend. Oh my God, it is just so easy. I kind of would really like this in a bronzer shade as well, because of just how bloody easy it was and how satisfying. There's no smell off it. How satisfying it is. It is this grey, cooler undertone. I do contour. It's not for everyone, but I pop it under here and I pop it on. I didn't put it here today, but I did put it under here. I love this. It's just such a comfortable, it's emollient, but not too emollient. I love it. I love it. That is my first Fenty cream product. It's my only Fenty cream product. I would like to try a bronzer shade, and I'm assuming I'm in the shade Butter Biscuit. Curious about her creams now that I've tried, her cream blushes now that I've tried this particular product, but I love this. It's a perfect undertone for my skin tone. I am very, very fair with a very pink undertone, and this definitely replicated a shadow. And when I put it on my face accidentally as a bronzer, it was just so easy with a sponge, and it's so easy with a brush, and it makes me excited as well. I'm excited about that. I know how much I love something when I use it a lot and it's not in a project pan. For bronzer, I have my Physicians. There's no point, like, this is just, I hate being like saying things over and over, but then would it really be a favorite if I wasn't saying it over and over? This is the Butter Bronzer in the shade Light Bronzer by Physicians Formula. There is 11 grams in it, and it does, if you are against fragrance, this is heavily fragranced. A lot of people like it, but some people don't. It smells like beach. It smells like coconut, but not over, like, it is quite strong. But like, I can't smell it. Okay, my sense of smell, as you all know, I lost it for 5 months and I still don't really have a great sense of smell, but I can not smell it this far away. I can smell it now, but that's probably not good to go off, but I really, really like it. I have finished a full one of these before. It is just so, it is buttery. It's just such a good word for it. It's just so buttery. It's so smooth. It's so blendable. It's so easy, and it's affordable. I love it. I have finished a full one of these before last year, and 3/4 of this I panned without trying to pan. As in, I used up most of this bronzer, and it felt like, I see a lot of people saying that this takes ages to finish. I used it in my mind so quickly, and it probably wasn't quickly, it's just I didn't feel it. I had loads of pan in it and it was almost done when I put it into a project. I used it that much by myself. I love this. It's just such an affordable one, and it's better than a lot of my high-end ones. I have one other bronzer. I like all of my bronzers, and I have one other bronzer that I really, really like that's more expensive, but this one is still better. It's still better, and I have yet to find something that I find better than this. I am curious about the Becca one that people are on about, but this is just so beautiful. It is my favorite for 2 years now. It was such a favorite that I bought the other shades to see, because obviously I couldn't get them in person, so I bought the other shades. I did, I really did, and I don't care because I'll use it, so it's fine. For cream blush, I now have more cream blush in my collection. However, for the year, what was my favorite cream blush? And it is the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow. I got this, when did I get this? In the summer, early summer. This is 13.7 grams. And before you're like, no, it's actually not the blush shade. I like that, but I love this. You see this shade here? I love this. I love this as a blush and as a highlighter, because I struggle so much to find a blush that is buildable, that's not like really, really, really intense. Like I struggle so much. And this kind of just gives me a bit of a color, and it without being like really intense. So this would be down for my favorite blush, cream blush, and it would be down for my favorite cream highlighter. I have it on today as a cream highlighter. Oh God, guys, I love it so much. This highlighter shade, although I've used it a lot, I wouldn't buy that on its own, but I will use it because it is quite glittery. It's not like my favorite. It is like not much base pigment and a lot of, sorry, not glittery, sparkly. So there is sparkles to the skin. I do like using it. I actually use it quite a lot as an inner corner highlight. This is okay. I have used it a lot. And I have used this as well. I love this palette as a whole. I would say that 75% of the palette, like I like 100% of the palette, but I could leave these two shades if I needed to. But I will use them all because I love it. I love this palette. It's absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites. But I have to say that this shade in here is my favorite cream blush and cream highlighter, because I just get so excited to use it. I used it so many times now, and I just don't mind using it more and more and more and more and more, because I love it. Can you buy that as a single? Because I just would. I just love cream products this year, and I'm getting even more into it now, like just even more. I love it. I've finished my projects and I'm still leaving it out to use on a daily basis. What else for blush? My other powder blush, I found this hard because I was like, well, what one did I like the most and did I keep pulling for? And this particular one here is from Jouer. It is the Rose Gold Blush Duo it's in rose gold, but it's marigold and rose petal, and it's like the mini of the two, which I think is plenty. There's 8 grams in here, there's loads. And what I found with this is I kept reaching for this over the rest of my projects. Like I would be like, oh, just one more time. Oh, just one more time. Because one, I really like the shades and it went with so many different things. But two, it's just like it's not too intense, and I really struggle with things being too intense on my skin tone. You know, it's just so, I mix the two of them together. I've used it a lot now again in December because I've just, you know, allowed myself. I didn't find them way too intense that I had to like powder it off again. And I just really liked it a lot. Like I really loved it. I have a few of these Jouer duos now and I like them all, but like so far this year, like I didn't use them all. They all could end up being favorites, but this is just the one that I just kept using. I don't know, is it the color scheme, what it is, but I just kept using it. I didn't think the formula was anything groundbreaking at all, at all. Like it is a matte and a satin, you know, and it's beautiful and I loved it. I really enjoyed it this year. There's like other products that are creeping up in my favorite, like up to a favorite, but I just can't because it's too soon. Then another cream highlight. I went back, another cream highlight favorite was this one here. I loved this. This is the Huda Beauty 3D highlighting palette in Pink Sands edition, and this is in the shade Capri. I panned this all year. This shade gives a really nice glow to the skin. So it just gave a lovely glow, and I started using it on its own as well as underneath things because I loved it. And to be honest, I probably would buy that on its own as well. I just really enjoyed it and I still want to use it because I love it. Then for powder highlighter, my favorite powder highlighter for the year is also from this palette. It's not a groundbreaking formula. I have two favorites and I actually just had to have two because realistically there is two. It's this shade here. I use this shade as a blush topper and a highlighter and I loved it. It's not groundbreaking in relation to a formula, in relation to texture stopping. I just loved the color and I kept reaching for it. Like that's the thing. Even when I finished my project, you know you love something when you have used it in a project and then you still reach for it. I like it on its own. I like it mixed with these things. I like it as a blush topper. I just really, really have enjoyed it. Like it's amazing how much I've enjoyed it. It's just so funny because I don't often mix and match, but this thing made me want to and I really liked it. Then my second favorite, which wow, is this Nabla highlighter. This is the only Nabla highlighter I have. And it's the skin glazing one in the shade Privilidge. There is 6.5 grams in it. So this is like the pinky one. And I love it, guys. I have it on today. So this one here, you know what it is? It's like can you see there? It's like a pinky peach. You can still see my texture there, but it's not like it's accentuating it. It's just there. Like it is my face. I'm going to have texture, like it's life. But this is like a glow. To me, it's not in person. It's not like a stripe. It's just like a glow. It's not subtle and it's not intense. I'd put that as middle of the road to the almost intense. Probably could build it. But I just find that it just has a nice glow. And it almost, as you can see, I do have texture. But it almost air smooths it out a bit. And I'm loving, there's no kick up on it at all. And it is, what I would say is it's a glow, which is just, I love that. It's just a glow, like there's no stripe. You can see that there's a bit of a color to it, but it's just a glow. It's so beautiful. I would love to try other shades, but to be honest, a lot of people have the shade Ozone and I'd like to see what that looks like, but I'm not into icy tones anymore at the moment. So if it is icy, I don't want it, but I love this. I love this. It's just so nice to have a colour and a glow, you know? Have a colour that you like and a glow. Woo! It's really glowy, I love it. I love it. Like this one, I'd say the formula of this is better than this, but just to be true to everyone and myself, I did use this the most because I just loved it for some weird reason. I don't know why. I am going to put a primer in here because it was noticeably a brilliant, I know a load of people have this, but this was a favorite for me for eyeshadow primer. I'm not going to put anything in, I just use primer and it was fine. But this glitter glue from NYX, this is like so good. Like this is just so good. This made everything in my life easier. Like it just did. Particularly the melt. I got this because of the melt palette, the Green Smoke Sessions, and then I just started using it with other things. Like I'm having an awful hard time with this palette. An awful hard time. So I am. So this really has helped so far, and I actually love this glitter glue. It is a NYX glitter glue. I have never tried any other glitter glue, but this one, it is massive. Like, I've used it so many times already, and it is just not budging. I mean, I'm even starting to use it for no reason. Like, I just want to use it with every eyeshadow, even though there's no need, because it's just, sorry, it's just so sticky. It's just so sticky, so things like grip to it. And if you're doing a really long work day, you know, but it makes everything really intense as well. So I'm really enjoying it. But like, it just sticks though. It makes things like really intense. I have loved it. I remember the first time I used it being like, what is this magic? But anyway, and then for mascara, I think everyone and their mother knows that this has been a favorite this year. It just truly has. This is the Ilia mascara. Okay, I got this from Ellen. I will link her up here and I will link her down here because she has been such a joy in my life in 2020. A lot of people have, but Ellen and I don't know, it's just very special. So I really appreciate her and talking to her and having met her. But this mascara, okay, look at this wand. I seem to like plastic spiky ones. I think I've established that now. See, I don't use many mascaras. I only ever have one open at a time. So it's not like I try loads of mascaras in a year, you know what I mean? So, because I use one to total completion. I don't do the 3-month rule. When it's dead, that's when I finish with it. So I don't try loads, but I got this from Ellen. I also don't buy high-end mascaras like at all. I wouldn't even know. I'd be just afraid to spend a lot of money and it'd be exactly the same. So I got this from Ellen and I definitely would buy it. I think it's like $25 normally, I think. But I just, in my limited mascara experience, which is all Drugstore Ireland version, not like US version where you have nice juicy things to try, this has been wonderful. Like, I don't use a lash curler because I'm lazy, and it curls up the lashes, gives it volume, gives it length, particularly if you go in with 2 coats, and every mascara day is a good mascara day. Some days for me when I wear mascara it's and some days it's quite nice. There's no reason for that, it just is, whereas every time is a nice time with this mascara. I have hooded eyes and I've thought, you know, just because I've hooded eyes, everything will transfer. Like, not every day, like today didn't transfer, but most days I thought stuff would transfer just because my eyes are hooded. However, this never transferred, not once, not one time, which is amazing. I just can't wait to have it again. I actually really miss it. It's kind of sad how much I miss it. Like, I really miss that and I want that. It's like the best mascara ever that I've tried ever. Eyeshadow time, eyeshadow time. As you know, I'm a project panner and I've been panning these hardcore, so I have struggling to find that balance. I brought a lot of eyeshadows into my collection this year and I love a lot of them. But I have this rule with myself that I have to use a palette a certain amount of times for it to count as a favorite. So I have some palettes that I absolutely love, but I haven't used enough yet to say to you that it's a favorite. Do you know what I mean? And I'm also panning stuff. So I think that there'll be, because there's other palettes in my collection that I'm like, oh, genie, God almighty, wow. But I haven't used it enough yet, you know. So I have 3 palettes here today and I just said, no more Steph, because this is just like the truth so far. You know, outside of panning, because these aren't my favorites, but I just use them so much. They took up most of my time and I really do want to find a bit of a better balance next year. Anyway, the first palette is this. This is a shock to me. This is the Carnival Tree bPerfect Cosmetics Love Tahiti Stacey Marie. This brand is from Belfast in the northern of Ireland. And oh my God, like, I got this in a chemist in Ireland, I think it was in Kildare. It's like €50. And I was looking at a video with Angelika Nikvist, Angie, I can't pronounce her surname. And I actually got in the car. I haven't done this in like however long. Got in the car immediately after the video and drove down. It was the most spontaneous purchase I've ever done. And drove down and was like, I have to have you. Guys, I know it's like big and massive and colourful and you're like, what, how, what? I know, but this palette made me so inspired, so excited. It was like when I first started watching YouTube, where I wasn't watching Project Panning and I was watching like ridiculously amount, like I was watching Kathleen Lights, Jaclyn Hill, Tati Westbrook, like all of those people, and like a load of more people as well. But anyway, I was watching all that where they push makeup, and I used to get really excited and I could afford nothing and nothing was in near Ireland, or everything was customs, and it was just so exciting. And I suppose over the time it's not as exciting, even though I love it so much. This though, this brought the child out in me. There is just, the formula is lovely. It's not groundbreaking. It's not like an indie brand where you're like, well, oh my God. Formula is good, it's great, but it's not like, oh my God, genie God, what in the name of the Lord. This is a duochrome down here. It's a duochrome greeny, it's beautiful. That is a duochrome up here with a pink and blue. Like the shades in here are bloody beautiful. Oh, I love it. I love it. Look at this poopy brown shade. I get so excited. I just want to play with it. Like, I would love to stop Project Panning and play with this for a full month, all of the time. Look at all of the colors in here. I love it. I love it. Oh, I just, every time I use it, I'm like, oh, you're beautiful. Like, there's just so much going on in here. I leave this on my desk. Like, that's how often I use it. I leave it on the desk. This big, massive, colourful palette, I leave on the desk. It's bloody beautiful, guys. There's neutrals in here as well. Like, there's duochromes in here, and it was accessible. Like, what? Like, there's duochromes in here. Look at that shade up there. It's stunning. Let me just see. I'd say the swatches are going to be crap, but like, now that I've said that, but I just, like, even the formulas in here are different to one another, but it just makes me so excited. Like, so excited. The first colours I kept reaching for were the greens, and like, I keep going back to the swatches. Utter garbage. You can't even like get the full gravity of that, can you? The next favourite I have this year, I don't know if you're getting sick of hearing me talk about the same things over and over, but you would think, is this the most exciting thing in my collection? No, I have like so many exciting things. I have Lethal Cosmetics, there's so much stuff here that's making me even more excited. But I love this palette, like, I just love it. I bought it on my birthday, 13th of July, and I just keep using it. I can't stop using it. It's one of those things where, like, I have so many things in my collection that make me so excited, and again, this balance I'm trying to find, but this one just keeps peeping its head and putting it into projects because I want to use it, because I just keep using it. This is the Nabla Pretty Cute in the shade Platinum, the palette, and there's all different formulas in here. They're not all the same formula and texture. This shade is definitely my favorite shade. It's in the shade Luxuriance, and it's like a thin formula. I've put this in I barely touch that. I have put this now in so many videos, so I know you're probably like, I don't know why I'm apologizing, because it's obviously a favorite if I'm talking about it so much. Look at that, it's just flicking stunning. Then this shade is like always a shade that I love using. Like, that's a more thicker formula, not as thin and foiled. Oh, it's just so lovely. It's like a cool tone dream, and I've only came back into cool tones this year, like as in heavy duty into it. And then this is like Gem Systems, that's called. This one I don't use that much, but I just, oh God, it's beautiful. Look at that. Like, I wanted to buy the Natasha Denona Glam palette, but I feel like I've hit all the notes here. It's just, it truly has been a favorite of mine. I just love it. So as you know, I did a lot of swaps this year, which I'm grateful for, and I received gifts this year, which like never happens, which makes me want to cry. But my usage target, this met the usage target. This is the Sydney Grace in the palette Summer Days, and I got this as a gift, and I won't say her name. I did get permission, didn't I? Christina, and I did get permission, and I met her here on YouTube. She's a subscriber, and it's just crying. I just can't. I won't go off on that tangent. Look at it. It's just beautiful. It's a neutral palette. Look, it's just, oh God, it's stunning. It's just stunning. Like, what? This is my first experience with Sydney Grace. I don't know when I'll get Sydney Grace, if ever again, because it's just far too expensive to get to here. So oh God, look, I wore this palette meeting up with my mom and my dad, and Dad, who has no interest in makeup, who doesn't know really anything about makeup, he was just like, how often does that ever happen? He's like, oh, I can't remember it. He said, your eyes look really blue today, or your eyes look really nice, or the gold. And he was commenting, one, on that my eyes look nice, and two, on the colour. Like, that doesn't happen. It's just so beautiful. Like, wait, like, oh my God, look at that. It's just stunning. Oh, God. I apply these with my fingers. I don't know. There's no reason why I do that. I just do. God. Oh my God. Like I'm still wiping it off now and it's just not even coming off. It's just... So onto lip products before I die. So my first favorite for lip products is a lip liner. And this has been my favorite lip liner since I was about 15 or 16, could even be 14. Amazing, isn't it? I have since tried MAC, NYX, Colourpop. That's all I've actually tried, I think. I think that's everything. But this is still my favorite. This is the Rimmel lip liner, specifically in the shade Cappuccino. I have gone through so many of these. I like a lip liner that's a sharpenable pencil. I just don't like retractable ones. I also like it to be not stiff and not creamy, but somewhere in the middle, more leaning almost stiff, like a little bit creamy, because I hate when it moves. This is just beautiful. I just keep buying it. I just keep using it. Don't need to panic because, well, I should because I love it, but I just use it naturally anyway on its own. I absolutely love this lip pencil. It is my favorite lip pencil ever in the world. I haven't tried Charlotte Tilbury, but this is my favorite that I've ever tried. I love it with a passion. It is, I need to find something like it that's cruelty free because I adore it. And the MAC ones I like too, but that one I still like that bit more. The NYX ones I like too, but I still like that one just that bit more. For lipstick, I was like, what do I do? Because this product is being discontinued. And then I was like, well, it's a favorites video. What is your favorite? Ultimately, and my favorite lipstick this year has been the Lime Crime. It's in the shade Airborne Unicorn, but it's just the formula of this. And then I received, well, 3 of these from my friend here on YouTube, Katie. She's a subscriber as well, but I would say I'm very close with her. I get on really well with her. So she sent these to me as well. And I just like, it's just so thoughtful. It's beyond thoughtful because you have to spend your money and go to the bother and just everything. But I love this formula. God, it's just, this is in the shade Airborne Unicorn. This is fantastic. I really need to find a lipstick that's accessible. It is creamy, but it's not too creamy. It's like a dry creamy. Dry, I hate using the word dry because I think of liquid lipstick. This is a fantastic formula. It doesn't budge. Once you put that on your lips, it is not going to, well, it doesn't transfer on me. It's not too creamy. It's just like a drier cream, stiffer cream. And it lasts, I remember one time I did like a 4 or 5 hour like test on it and I had eaten and everything. And when it does fade, it doesn't fade off. It like fades to not a stain, but like a stain, but it comes off once you wipe it. It's just fantastic. Like still smells perfect. I don't know, I haven't come across a lipstick that I've been this obsessed with the formula, I think, literally ever. It is the best lipstick formula I have tried. It is my favorite. And then Katie sent me this shade again, an Airborne Unicorn, because it actually is totally unique to my collection. I swatched them all. It's like this purpley pink shade. I think Jessica would call it purple pink. Pinkle, which I think is a great name, Pinkle. So these 2 shades I got from Katie that are different. This one is in the shade Birthday Suit and this one is in the shade Not Another Peach, and they're being discontinued. Isn't that depressing? Why? So these are the colors here. I tried all of them. The formulas are the same across these as well. I was wondering, would that be the case? They're actually all beautiful, like truly beautiful. This definitely is a favorite, and I was like, do I put this in because it's being discontinued? I'm like, no, it's the truth. Like, it is a favorite of mine. And I'm so disappointed. If you guys have a recommendation of a formula like this, let me know. And this product still stays out because I love it. My second favorite, and it's only because this is the only one I've tried. I got this again from Elaine. This is the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Pillow Talk. It's the light one. Now, it's not necessarily even because of the shade. It's the formula I'm loving. I'm loving the formula. Again, it's a stiffer cream. It's still creamy. Doesn't last as long as that other one. So I would say I'd rank the other one first and this one second, but it's still up there as a favorite. And because I've got this, I will definitely try their other colors. This one here is a lovely, it's kind of a little bit pinker than I would normally wear. There it is there, but it's beautiful. Smells nice as well. It smells kind of like food, but it's not overpowering. God, it's really lovely. I love this formula. This is a higher end lipstick, so you know, that's tough, but it is truly another favourite of mine, but I just love that first one. And I've tried NYX and all that, and I do like them, but this one just, that formula just stood out for me. Then for lip gloss, I actually have a favourite lip gloss. I have 3, one is downstairs in my handbag. So this is the Fenty lip glosses. I was like, what is the hype about this? You know, like, what is the hype? I have this one in the shade Fussy, Diamond Milk, and I have the other one. What's the other one called? It's downstairs. It's in my handbag anyway. So this is fantastic. Normally I've always said to you guys, I only wear a clear lip gloss and a nude brown. I always preach it. But yet no, in these glosses, I prefer the colouredy ones. What? I love this. The only thing I don't like is the smell. I really don't like the smell at all. It smells like there's a stain on my table. It smells like food, right? But I gave it to Dad, and Dad was like, okay, it smells like food. Then I gave it to Mam, and she was like, okay, it smells like cherries. So I'm thinking that's what it is. Don't really like the smell of it, to be quite honest with you, but I love, it doesn't disperse too much gloss. Oh God, I'm putting this over, like, oh no. Like, it doesn't disperse too much gloss where it's like sticky. It's not sticky. It's a little bit sticky, but it's not like, your hair definitely will get in cotton. Hang on. Hair test. Hang on. Yeah, it definitely sticks, but like, what wouldn't? But it's not like uncomfortable stick, and it's not like goopy gloss. It's like a soft, it's perfect. It's perfect. It is a noticeably nice gloss. And surprisingly, the shade I thought I'd like the most is the one that I use the least. I love these glosses to the point where I'm like, ooh, it's making me go out of my comfort zone in colour as well. Like, will I get another colour, you know? I love them. I love these so much. So these have been my favourite glosses of the year. Absolutely. Abso-frickin-lutely. Okay guys, that was my favourites for 2020. What did you think? Did I do okay for my first time? Oh, what are your favourites this year? Even if there's only 1 or 2. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Take care. Bye.